visitor. I fear you have an item in your possession that I require.
To be used in your continuing quest for world peace, I presume.
World peace, not entirely my purpose in pursuing this artifact.
This artifact contains untold power. Power of which the likes of you will never harness. If you wish it, you may have it, but you will regret it.
The world may regret it. Hand it to me and I may spare you.
On your head be it.
Take her to the torpedo room and eject her into the ocean.
Sergei, listen to me. You don't know what you're dealing with.
I think Sergei found out what he's dealing with towards the very end. Hello and welcome everyone to Let's Play Tomb Raider 5 Chronicles. This is guys 115 speaking, and let me officially welcome you to the sinking submarine this time, not just the submarine. So as the name suggests, and also the corridor ahead of you, we are going to be revisiting the submarine 2 levels back, but in a much different state, and I tried to foreshadow this already before. I love this transition into the same but completely wrecked environments. I wish the franchise would do it more. In this brief level we are gonna find 15 items, kill 5 enemies, break 1 single object, and find 2 secrets, which along with the one from the deep sea dive add up to 3, which I think it was supposed to be 1 and the same level. This also marks the end of the Russian Chronicle of Tomb Raider Chronicles. So, any supplies you have, feel free to go crazy. I am on my no pistols challenge from certain point in the submarine level, so all I'm armed with are 6 shotgun shells. Will that be enough to kill 5 enemies and whatever else we find? Stay tuned and find out. We're not touching those pistols. We also still carry over 1 flare from the very beginning from the base level out of the 3 we found. And there is also no flares pickup in this level, so during the entire Russian chapter they will not give you more than 3 flares, which is absolutely ridiculous, but we'll manage. We have all our health packs, small and large, the crowbar. One thing that disappeared from my inventory, in case you remember, were the remaining chaff flares. Okay, so no matter what amount you end the deep sea dive with, you are gonna lose all of them. They are really just for the purpose of that level. They probably remained in the suit. Talking about the suit, well, there's the Spear of Destiny. Whatever the hell happened to Sergei Mikhailo and our deep diving suit, it's all behind this rubble, completely blocked off. We are not safe. The submarine is sinking, it's very old, its infrastructure has been shaken to the core. There's not much else we can do than get out. Now, our mission really is to find the Admiral, get to the escape pod and repair it first. For that we need 2 items. He is gonna give us hints, just like Sergeant Aziza in the Cairo levels of Tomb Raider 4, but again, they're kind of half hints. Now, all the diving rooms on all sides are completely pointless and empty. There is nothing to find in them, but just gonna want to briefly go there to show you that there's nothing to worry about. So you can basically just make a beeline straight to this corridor, go down the ladder, and I think we should be facing the, oh yes, the torpedo room. Whew. Okay, so ahead is an encounter with mobsters. Interesting thing, you are only gonna find mobsters in this level, no soldiers anymore. Now, I have a theory, and what we are gonna find out from the Admiral confirms it, that when the Spear of Destiny went crazy and Sergei Mikhailo died, things just went crazy. All his mobster friends started killing the soldiers and tried to kill Lara now. Everyone's kind of just in this chaos trying to get out. The mobsters, they stick together and shoot everyone that's not them. This is the situation. Why can't everyone just hold hands, climb into the escape pod and make it to the surface? I do not know. But for this very reason, let's equip what we have left of our shotgun. Okay. Oh, damn it. Managed to fire. My sprint somersault cost us some health, but that's fine. Okay, at least he didn't. Now, each one of these guys, the black shirt and the white shirt, drops something. You are not going to see it in the darkness, so let me use my binocs. Thank you, Lara. So, the black shirt guy dropped Uzis, which makes sense since he was using an automatic weapon. Well, not Uzis, but Uzi clips. And the other one, Desert Eagle clips. What does that mean? That means that we are going to find both Uzis and a Desert Eagle in this level. But we just dispatched 2 out of 3 enemies, so we are facing 3 more enemies and you're going to give us the weapons so late? Yep, that's exactly it. Now, if you remember, in the submarine level, this led to the bunk room, not the one where we were imprisoned in, but the second one where there was a small health pack. Now it's behind rubble. I just love comparing these 2 levels. I actually still have a save file from the base, the submarine, and sometimes I just go back and look at what the corridors looked like before this situation occurred. Okay, so up the ladder we go. We don't have to return to this part of the submarine anymore. We have to make it to the canteen with the tables and get onto the other side and get our hands finally on the swipe card. Remember, in the submarine level there were a couple of doors which you were not able to open because of a lack of a card. Funny how the moment we climbed up, fire started. There is probably some engine oil leaking somewhere. I can't explain the appearance of fire on water otherwise. Now you can go across it via a couple of jumps, but before that I want to show you what is it we're after. I did say we want the swipe card. Ignore the music, it's a fake out. We want to enter here because this leads to a so-called upper deck, where the commanding officers are, the escape pods, the war meeting room, all sorts of stuff that we have not yet explored. Opposite of it is a storage room. If you remember, we entered this storage room via a vent, and a kindly soldier unlocked the door from the outside and then tried to kill us. If you now try to get into the vent, you will find rubble. Like all blocked off passages in the sinking submarine level, this is what you'll find. Now, we have searched through all these 2 levels back, but occasionally you will find something like Uzis or a small health pack. But in this particular storeroom, nope, nothing. So I just want to show you that they are indeed empty. You know, sometimes I'm wondering if it was the right decision for this Let's Play to do it. How much time I would save up, but not showing you the interactions with empty cabinets and shelves. But honestly, as a viewer, that would make me nervous, just taking the author's word for it. I want to see the evidence on screen that it's empty, so that's why I'm taking extra time with this. You might agree or disagree, but, you know, maybe someone out there agrees with me. So, how to make it through the fires? There is an easy way and a difficult way. Easy way, stand against the wall and backflip. Even if Lara will come into contact with fire, she should not ignite, just take some minor damage. Think back to the fire room from Pella's Midas from Tomb Raider 1. Unless you enter the very center of the fire, she will not catch fire. So I recommend, even if you're doing like a forward standing jump, do it on the side. Of course, I'm not going to do that because I'm an idiot. Instead, I'll stylishly swan dive because, come on, that's what Lara would totally do. It just looks the best. Again, make a brief stop in this storeroom, because here we are gonna get our hands on Uzis. First of all, 30 bullets from that one pickup from one of the mobsters. And now that we have found Uzis, it's 60. Easy as that. The remaining shelf is empty, as is the chest of drawers over here. Again, let me show you. Very exciting. Okay. And finally the shelves, and again this is the storeroom which in the submarine level was connected via a vent into the one that was locked and was opened up by a soldier from the outside. So let me show you what happened to the vent. I mean, it's hardly gonna be surprising, but again, there is rubble. I don't know why they just couldn't keep this intact, you know, using the knowledge you found in the previous level. overcoming one of the fires in the way. I think that would have been really cool. Instead, they actually went through the extra effort to block them off. I do not understand that. Anyway, another swan dive. Ooh, that was a bit too close for comfort. And now, something truly annoying and infuriating will happen. Of course, the moment we approach this room, that's when the cables start hanging. I love the idea that there is a mafioso up there observing Lara's movements, and as she's approaching, he's just somehow kicking them down and not getting electrocuted in the process. So, we are actually gonna have to use the tables as our movable space, which is a fun challenge, don't get me wrong. Oh, I love how much this room has changed since. So make it to the very edge. Mind you, do not use safety walk, because Lara will safety walk into the electrified water and get electrocuted. If that happens, you are not gonna get killed immediately, okay? You are just gonna take damage extremely fast, as if you were on fire. Instead, use sidestepping. No matter if it's dangerous or not, Lara will not sidestep from one step above, okay? So make an advantage of that to get to the very edge and just make a standing jump. Easy as that, okay? So again, keeping up with using the tables only, let me actually show you what happened to our favorite bathroom. You might be tempted to side flip, but no, the ledge up there will knock Lara into the water. Be very careful. You can, however, step into the water over here. And just like before, it's completely empty. Lara will refuse to use her binocs. They really don't want to show us this room from another angle, which makes me wonder, what on earth are they hiding? Does Lara see something terrifying in the sink mirrors? I truly don't know. Anyway, this time there's no soldier with a box of normal shotgun shells, nothing like that. It's just a room that I really wanted to show you, okay? Make of it what you will. Oh, and another thing I really want to show you is the kitchen. It also got electrocuted, and you know what, rather than taking binocs out, I'm gonna get inside and show you exactly what I mean, even though I'm risking Lara's life. All in a day's work. Are we aligned correctly? There is a pipe here, which makes me very nervous. Oh boy, please survive, Lara. Okay, so here, cast your eyes on the beautiful... Well, whether first or second secret really depends on the order in which you will pick them up. They will both kind of become accessible at roughly around the same time, okay? So it doesn't really matter. I think in my case, this is going to be the first secret I'm going to pick up, but remember, there was a pantry over here, and now it's just smoking rubble, so this sort of caved in. And as for the vent that originally led to the kitchen area, well, someone decided to close the grate after the embarrassing encounter with the cook, so there is no way getting there either. At the least the heat is off, right? So we are not going to be set on fire by that. Oh, and very important thing, whilst the water will electrocute you and not instantly kill you and drain your health, if you do touch any of the 3 cables, it's instant death for Lara, okay? So those specific tiles, try to never jump over those, because that is instant death. And you know what, I just realized something, these cables were foreshadowed in the submarine level, in one of the ventilation grates. They were there, and I was like, well, it's kind of a pointless hazard, because you cannot touch them even if you wanted to. And now I appreciate that it was in fact foreshadowing that the submarine is in a state of disrepair. That's really neat, I like that a lot. Okay, onto the table with you. Perfect. Okay, we're doing really great. I probably just about jinxed it. Anyway, the other side of the mess hall, really we just want to get there to get our hands on a swipe card, okay? And again, do not touch those cables, it's instant death time. Okie dokie. Yes, so this area, unfortunately, is again completely caved in, okay? So I think I refer to this as the southern part of the submarine, and this used to lead into the cargo hold where Lara was a stowaway. Now it's caved in, there's no going there. There is only one storeroom available, and guess what? We will be able to assassinate someone from up close by being quiet. Yeah, the music again. And again, if you walk and creep up on this mafioso, the white shirt wearing mobster, and he has the swipe card, then you can just blast him to smithereens. Now the question is, Uzis or shotgun? It's true we haven't really used Uzis on the submarine yet, but you know what, from up close it has to be shotgun, come on. That's just something so satisfying. I imagine him flying across the room. And again, Lara will automatically switch to pistols. Let's just not do that and break the no pistols challenge. He dropped the same swipe card we used to get around in the base level, and that should be it. The shelves over here should be completely empty. And I think that means there are... Oh, my apologies, there is a small health bag. Oopsie-doo. Sorry, there are so many storerooms I sometimes get confused. Well, from now on all the shelves we'll encounter, and yes, we will encounter more shelves, will be empty. Okay? No chest of drawers to waste our time, neither a pointless dead end went. Now, this particular door in the original submarine level was actually locked because we did not have a swipe card. So this guy opened it up with a swipe card. He probably got off a dead soldier that he killed. There must have been some mutiny here. We missed so much whilst we were deep diving for the Spirit of Destiny. Now with the swipe card back in our hands, let's just make it back. That's really all we wanted to do on this side of the submarine. I am still nervous after all this time doing it. Yeah, and again, you might be tempted to side flip, but remember all those ledges at the top means Lara hitting her head and being knocked back half a square, which is not good. And yes, we will have to make it through the fires again. And then when we'll be backtracking for the secret golden rose, again. And then to get back, again. Yeah, so get accustomed to those fires. But again, this swan dive, whilst you can totally side flip or just do a normal forward jump, the swan dives just work perfectly. Okay, and finally, for the first and last time, we are gonna use the swipe card in the submarine. Lara's actually still gonna keep it in her inventory, perhaps as a souvenir, hard to say. And now we have a, well, not much of a choice, because we don't want to get into this water. Let me explain. We need to shut down the electricity to reach the other side, and also get our hands on a silver key from Admiral Yarofel. He is actually gonna give it to us once we meet him. Behind this door is a meeting room, or a war room, or however we call it. It's an impressive looking room and also oppressive looking room. But yeah, with the electricity being on and without us having the key, there's not much point. We need a silver key for that. There is going to be another locked door a bit later on, for which we'll need a bronze key. And that door is completely optional because it leads to one of the two secrets of this level. Okay? Anyway, this is exciting because we are entering new and unexplored areas of the submarine. Just like we passed through a corridor before, we can ignore this one as well, and I will try and explain. Again, electrified water, but of course those who are observant can notice, hold on a second, these computer consoles, they look completely climbable and jumpable, and you could be correct. You can hop on this one, then on the middle one, then on the far one, and pick up that nitroglycerin canister, okay? And then hop back. But there are goodies in the water, like this large health pack, and we don't want to miss those either. So let's get here once we shut off the electricity. There is no reward for the added challenge of doing it now, okay? So we are gonna swoop in and take everything apart once it's safe to walk there. And this should look familiar. Okay, so I think these things are called periscopes. Unfortunately, we cannot look through them on the water surface. Wouldn't it be awesome to just press the action key and Lara would see the Spear of Destiny doing some weird crazy stuff in the ocean floor? Yeah, so not sure if you remember, but we used to crawl on the other side of that grate over there in the submarine and observe a discussion between Sergei Mikhailov and the Admiral. this time, we're gonna access the other side via this very breakable looking vent cover grate. That's what we are gonna do. But first of all, I would prefer to meet the Admiral and get a context of what Lara is exactly trying to achieve and how to get out. So open up this door over here. Oh yeah, you might have noticed there is a door on the right over here. And that's all I can say about this door. It will never open, so it's difficult to say where it leads, but it's not part of the level, not really.
Sergei would be the end of us all. He infects my ship with his greed, and now we are all doomed.
We have a chance. The escape pod, come on. I'll help you.
I do this only to help my man. He babbles of the biblical spear, and I feed his madness for money to feed our families. And now, to these corpses left for the fishes.
Yarofem, I can help you. But you must help me. The ship is about to impact into the ocean bed, and then our time is up. We must hurry.
The escape pods have no internal air supply. You will find oxygen tanks in my stateroom. I hear my ship dying. The internal seams are splintering.
In other words, we are running out of time. So, thank you very much, Admiral, for the silver key. We are gonna reach you to get into this sort of stateroom, the boardroom, where we are gonna get our hands on oxygen. So, similar to Sergeant Aziza, he gave us a hint. Up above this ladder is an escape pod. Let me show you what's up ahead. Inside the escape pod, we will need to enter the oxygen tank as per the Admiral's hint. Imagine having the oxygen in your inventory, walking up to this empty space, opening up your inventory, selecting the oxygen tank, and Lara saying,
No.
How infuriating that must be. Well, again, we are only receiving half a hint, just like in Tomb Raider 4, and this is irritating me to no end. There was not a single mention of how to even pronounce it? Nitroglycerin. So, we need both oxygen and nitroglycerin. Nitroglycerin we have already saw, but first we need to shut off, well, we don't need to, we can get it even without it, power to the room. But to get the oxygen, we need to shut off the power anyway, so it doesn't really matter. One important caveat, we cannot kill Admiral Yarofel. I'm not sure we would want to, but if you shoot at him, nothing will happen, okay? I do not consider him a killable nor an unkillable enemy. He's not part of the equation at all, because he's not an enemy. Unlike the soldier in Giza, in Menkaure's pyramids, which we could have actually killed if we were to kill both him and the Scorpion via explosives. But Admiral Yarofel, not so much. He's not an enemy at all. Think of him more like an NPC like Jean-Yves was in his Alexandria hub, that sort of thing. Okay, so just an important disclaimer. Now, first things first. Oh yeah, why is he injured? Well, my feeling is Sergei Mikhailov's men, actually. He did say that they were, well, he was complaining about his greed. There is going to be another cutscene where he's going to say a bit more, but that's my theory. He was injured by his men, locked himself away there next to the escape pod, but then realized there is no internal oxygen supply and he's just chilling, going down with his ship. First of all, as part of the no pistols challenge, we cannot use them to break this vent, so just one bullet. I'm surprised that it wasn't 2 bullets. Huh, okay. Now, you know what, I am going to show you. Over on that other side, this is just a dead end. Now, you might be thinking, hold on a sec, the last time we were here, this used to lead into a vent. This is not the same side that we were in the submarine level. It has confused me as well. If it would have been, we would be on our way to the ventilation inside the cook's kitchen, but that's not the case. Instead, this is the other side of the periscope room. And in here, we are gonna find a trapdoor leading into the room, which finally, for once and for all, is gonna allow us to shut off the electricity. First of all, a pointless empty shelf. This is the one I mistook with the one that actually had a small health bag in it. And it's still not the final one. Oh boy. Searching all these multiple times on 2 different versions of a game was driving me insane. Now, locked door. Oh, you know what this means? No, of course not. We need a bronze key this time. We need to downgrade from silver to bronze, unlike in the submarine level. And the bronze key is gonna be dropped by one of the final enemies of the level. And without any hint. That's why there is a secret behind that door. It's a secret to think about, okay, what's the only locked door we have seen that we did not unlock yet? And if you remember it, and that's exactly what happened when I played, I'm so proud of myself for finding that secret, you will be rewarded with a golden rose. Now, I wasn't sure these kind of levers are even in Tomb Raider 5, so I'm happy to see a comeback. They're very satisfying to pull off. Now that the light is off, of course there's darkness in the electricity room, and this is going to be true for some parts of the submarine, but not all of them. There is still going to be some backup emergency lighting running. Okay, and let's turn. Again, there doesn't seem to be a problem that Lara cannot solve with a good old somersault. Ah, there we go. So satisfying. So, with the electricity being off, we can get to 2 rooms that we've been ignoring so far, and also pick up the rose in the kitchen. First things first, what I refer to as a console room. So, now that we can walk across water, let's not forget the large health pack over here, the Desert Eagle clips, which we absolutely do not need, considering, again, I repeat, there are only 2 more enemies to be left here. And the actual weapon, Desert Eagle, let's look at our ammunition count. It should give us 6 bullets. So we have 12, and we should be at 18. Correct. And from now on, to kill those remaining 2 enemies, I'm just gonna use Desert Eagle, because we just, you know, we did not get to play around with it much, which is very sad and disappointing. And there it is, the canister we've been after, the nitrogen. Sorry, not nitroglycerin, just nitrogen, fair enough. I was always falling asleep on chemistry lessons. Now, if you touch the cables whilst the power is deactivated, they do not kill you or hurt you in any shape or form. I would still not recommend it in real life, they must be hot as hell, but there you have it. Also, just because we shut down one source of power doesn't mean that shut off all the conduits, if you know what I mean. That's very risky business, Lara. Okay, and down we go, and this is the corridor we ignored before because the power was on, blocking our path, and we didn't have the key. Well, both of those problems are now resolved, so let's make it on the other side and use the silver key to enter a very impressive looking room that has seen better days. Oh my god, look at this war room, and you can still see old Soviet insignia there. I mean, this is relatively shortly after the fall of Soviet Union, so it kind of makes sense. Still, looking at them makes me about as sick as looking at a swastika, so let's go away. Instead, let's search the cabinets in this room. We are after an oxygen tank and a small unremarkable health pack. 2 of these cabinets are empty, this should be one of them. And right next to it should be the oxygen tank, which thankfully at least looks different from the nitrogen one. Nitrogen is in yellow, the oxygen one should be in green. And there we go. Let's jump over the table. And we should get our hands on a small health pack. Again, so many cabinets. And the disadvantage of these is that there is an edit animation where Lara has to also open them, not just search the shelves, right? So it takes even longer than the shelves themselves. Oh my god. Okay, Lara, find that small health pack. Thank you very much for cooperating. Now let's get the hell out of here, but make your weapon ready, because by picking up the oxygen canister in this war room, you will have triggered the appearance of 2 enemies when you walk back. It's Uzis or Desert Eagle, well, the choice is very easy for me. One down, and another down. Wow, they did not even blink and they were both dead. I love you, Desert Eagle, so much. I would love to compare how long it would take with a revolver, you know, since it was nerfed in this game and no longer serves the purpose of Desert Eagle. Again, I like the decision, since we have both weapons here. The one on the right, I think it was a black shirt guy, he dropped this bronze key. So, can you think about what is the one and only remaining locked door we have not unlocked yet? Yep, it's in the powered grid room. Now, we have a choice of either taking care of that or first getting our hands on a golden rose we have already seen. You know what, I'm gonna do that. Let's do the dangerous part first, because we still Have to yet again jump over these flames. Okay. I'm gonna take 2 steps back. Maybe that's too much. Let Lara be the judge of that. Thank goodness. And now you can walk in because the electricity is off. I still feel nervous about doing this because the electricity was on briefly ago. And there we go. There's a beautiful rose. So as a proof, it shows 1 out of 2, okay? So it's not 3 secrets per this level. Again, I appreciate such an in-game counter at least. It's a vast improvement over Tomb Raider 4. And now, really the final dangerous thing of this level, just making it across these fires again. Okay, Lara. Okay, and 1 step back should be more than enough. Yes, okay, they did not even remotely singe us, and we jumped across them, what, 6 times? I'm very happy about that. So say goodbye to the submarine, the mess hall, all those parts. We are on our way to get the hell away from here. We have everything we need. We just need to make a brief detour on our way to the Admiral and the escape pod to pick up the second remaining secret. Again, the order in which you pick them up dictates which I refer to as first and second. I guess that applies to every single level, but yeah. Say goodbye to the console room. My god, I feel like I'm leaving a home base in a way. I've spent a lot of time here, you know, preparing for this video, playing through both versions, going back and forth. It's not quite as strong as when leaving Alexandria and Tomb Raider 4, where I've spent way more time, but it was a home far away from home in a sense, and it makes me sad. But I'm not gonna miss the flashing lights. Jesus Christ, they're unbearable. Okay, and you know what? I'm absolutely gonna light a celebratory flare, and dramatically so, from our inventory. So, our final flare in the Russian Chronicle, we're gonna use it because I want to show you the room with the second secret properly. So first of all, we unlock it with a bronze key, we get inside, we search the chest of drawers, and that's where our little golden rose should be. There it is. From this point on, you will have, yeah, that's 2, you will have 18 secrets if I'm not mistaken. So now, if you go to the main menu of the game on both PC and PS1 version of the game, or at least the patched PC version of the game, but it is like that even in the original PS1, you will find the second unlockable amongst the special features. And it's not a gallery or the concept art for Angel of Darkness, it's actually the continuation of the storyboards. You know, that makes sense. And unfortunately, there is a locked door here which we don't have a key for and will never open. I hate these so much, just like in the base level. And an empty bit of shelving, nothing in it. Honestly, I'm not gonna complain about the secrets in this level not having any goodies with them because, well, we're about to wrap up Russia. You know what that means. Whenever you wrap up one of the 4 chronicles, your inventory is gonna get reset. So what would be the point, really, at this stage? Okay, and again, somersaulting our way through problems. Now don't worry, after the cutscenes and FMVs, I am absolutely going to show you the unlocked extras in the main menu, so you have that to look forward to. Okay, Lara, you totally somersaulted your way to victory. Okay, the whole submarine is shaking, that's nothing new, but I just feel like we should really hurry up. Let's ignore the Admiral for now, there's nothing we can do with him, he just looks at us. Don't worry, Admiral. We got the oxygen and we have nitrogen as well, which you did not tell us, you sly fox. So first, let's enter 1. And you know what? This is what I've been talking about. By the way, I appreciate we can see the sea level, just like in the deep sea dive, as some sort of skybox. Does it look any different if we shut the PS1 skyboxes? I really wonder. Oh my god, it's just... okay. That is bad. I assume this would have been the case in the deep sea dive. I have not actually checked. Okay, this is so much better. So again, imagine what I talked about. Imagine coming here with an oxygen canister and Lara being...
No.
Yeah, you do need the nitrogen. This way, the one on the other side will open up and you'll be able to enter it. The moment you do, the level ends. So let me take a look at our statistics screen here. This was the sinking submarine, the 4th and final level of the Russian chapter, the 7th level of Tomb Raider 5. After this point, we are basically halfway done with the game. It's a very short one. It's like 2 expansion packs, basically. we have found all 15 items, we have killed all 5 mobsters, 3 white shirt mobsters, 2 black shirt mobsters, we have broken 1 breakable object and found these levels 2 secrets. And of course you can see the time taken, the distance traveled and the ammo used on the side over there. So with that in mind, let me make a save here and let's take a look at what happens next in the cutscenes. After that, stick around and you will find me back in the main menu showing you our new unlocked special feature.
Yet, no time. The hull is breached, and we will drown soon. With the oxygen, you escape now.
Not without you.
I am Admiral Yarofev of the Russian Imperial Navy. I have served my great country for many years, but the country I know withers. The bear lies down to sleep for its final time, and I wish also this fate on the ship I have grown to love.
No deal.
Yes, deal. For the outer airlock can only be opened from inside the ship. This is my gift to your child. I release you to a future beyond this dying vessel.
And my gift to you?
Tell my story. Tell how the proud men of the Russian Navy fought against the enemy from inside and sacrificed their lives for that their country may once again stand proud.
You have my word.
I salute you. Quickly, into the airlock, and I will release you.
Goodbye, Admiral.
Lara saw enough of the power of this artifact to recognize its rightful place was where man could never again misuse it.
And not enough for it to destroy her. Some powers are beyond the wit of man.
Oh dear, gentlemen. I do apologize. It seems someone up above has a sense of humor. If you will excuse me a moment, I shall fetch candles.
It is a night spurred by hell.
And as the horsemen drove ever onwards across the world, the heavens boiled in their wake. Benefits of a religious education.
As promised, we are back in the main menu. So let's briefly look at what did we unlock via finding all 18 secrets. That is all in the Italy chapter of the game and the Russian chronicle of the game. Just kidding with you. You first need to load a save with those secrets being registered. There we go, 18. And now if you make it back to the main menu, again, just like before, you will see them. But I wanted to show you just in case this is your first video checking out the extras. So, storyboards part 2. You know, I was happy to learn that we're actually gonna unlock after the storyboards part 1, the storyboards part 2. Because it would feel weird to have a gap in between them. But be careful, these storyboards will spoil also some of the FMVs you have not seen yet in my Let's Play, okay? So if you do care about that for this 23-year-old game, I'm not judging, do not watch these, okay? Just as a fair warning. So, for the rest of us, let's dive right in. Okay, Lara zooms on a car. Backward zoom of the binoculars, the cars come into the base. Lara takes a look at the 2 observation posts. Lara to Jean-Yves or Charles Kane. I dealt with mafiosos before. Lara is observing boats drifting away from the base. There is something you're not telling me, she says to her friend. Lara's point of view, Jean-Yves says, yes, somebody has to. Lara, don't worry. Lara goes away, the camera goes down and pulls back. Jean-Yves jumps on his skidoo and camera follows him a while. You know, I find it strange that Jean-Yves was the guy who accompanied her to Russia, and he was planned to be the person on a boat there waiting for her to resurface holding a rifle. That's just so out of place for Alexandria-based archaeologists. I do not understand that. Personally, I feel the character of Charles Kane fits this much better than Jean-Yves. Or perhaps it was supposed to be someone else entirely. I do not entirely know. Anyway, so this is kind of the storyboard showcase of the introductory FMV to the base level, the very first Russian one, okay? Let's go further. Now, sequence 1, plan 1, fade from black, the camera drives to submarine, fade away on. So this is about Lara's resurfacing, so what we've just seen. A close shot of the submarine, slow tide traveling, fade away on the interior of the submarine where Yarofel is badly hurt. Again, it wasn't really explained what from, but again, my thought is that he is hurt either from the explosion that the Spear of the Destiny caused or by Mikhailov's mafiosos, you know, as they started mopping up the soldiers. One of them stole the swipe card. They tried to kill Lara. Basically everyone who is not their boss. And also tried to kill Yarofel. Someone escapes, it says off the submarine? Let's just say out of the submarine. Inside, big noises. Outside, we can see who escapes. Lara in a capsule. With the nitrogen and oxygen finally inserted. And then, sequence 1, plan 7, inside the camera pans to follow the light moving towards Yarofel. So this is what we have seen in the cutscene, and that's the Spear of Destiny again causing mischief. It just won't leave anyone alone. It's the shittiest artifact there exists. I'm sorry, it's terrible. Why would anyone look for it? Well, because people don't know. I like this story arc actually a lot. Lara discovered that it's real, and as far as she's concerned, she's satisfied. She's not going to say it belongs in a museum. She doesn't want it in her place, knowing it would mess it up. She just proved to herself that this thing exists. She told her friends as little as possible so they never come into contact with it to protect them. And that's it, right? The camera moves back with Lara. Short shot of Yarofel's illuminated face. Short shot of Lara. So this is interesting because the very final panel, cynical eyes of Yarofel. What is he looking at? We'll never know. The camera approaches. I'm glad they decided to change this into scared Yarofel because he has seen some apparition caused by the Spear of Destiny. So rather than gracefully sinking down with his submarine, he got killed by that spear. That spear just won't leave anyone alone. Whereas here in the storyboard sequence, they planned to show cynical Yarofel. Was it supposed to foreshadow that this was his plan all along, to be alone with the Spirit of Destiny and wield its power? They were clearly setting up some kind of cliffhanger, and I'm so happy they reconsidered and just let him die gracefully and showed us that no matter who comes into contact with the Spear of Destiny, they suffer terrible fate, because that's been the theme so far. So, happy about the change as opposed to the storyboards. Let's go next. And I think next... Oh yes, this still shows what we have seen. The camera pulls back. After a moment of hesitation, we distinguish a tracking device with a mobile dot beep beep. The camera pulls back and appears in front of the tracking device. I cannot read that, but I assume Jean-Yves with a gun in hand runs out, then a cut, and Lara breaks the surface. Okay, Lara getting out of the water, Jean-Yves shots from behind, the gun in his hand. Why shots? Oh, the camera shot, not he actually taking shots at Lara. Okay. In the aimer of Jean-Yves' gun, we can see Lara out of focus, and after in the focus, something Lara knew enough. Fade away on Jean-Yves behind the window in Croft Estate. Yep. Again, I cannot read that through the previous next prompts, but something about Father Patrick and something around the fire. We've basically seen the FMV. Father Patrick on the left, something in the background, some powers. I don't know why they blurred out another word. This is kind of irritating. I understand Jean-Yves, but why? They even blurred out the Spear of Destiny in some of the previous storyboards. In case any one of you played the version of the game where these are not blurred out, or perhaps in the PS1 version of the game, You know what? I'm probably gonna check the PS1 version of the game and see what's actually written there. This is interesting. I'm gonna make a separate video at the very end, once we finish the Let's Play, showing all the unlockable features of Tomb Raider 5. And I'm gonna, via a bit of editing, put these blurred out words in there just to restore it a bit. But I'm gonna do that once we finish the Let's Play. Now next, we're gonna see a new FMV that you have not seen yet, because that is an introductory FMV to the Island Chronicle of the game, so you will see actually the FMV and be able to compare it with the storyboards in the next video I'll publish. Long shot that begins on the fire in the study room, the camera pulls back, pans, something approach, blurred out word, Patrick, something about young Lara, Winston's wife. The camera approaches the window and goes through it in order to show the park under the pouring rain. A big lightning crowds the image, white flash. Then appears a new landscape, same light, same rain. Something that is almost the same than before, details are different, probably the rain. We are in Konusi, in Winston's house, young Lara. Konusi, is that an actual village? I'm gonna check out. I want to know if it's in England, in Ireland perhaps, or the shores of Scotland or Wales. I'm interested to find out. Someone knocks on a door, then Lara turns her head. Fade from black on Winston and Father Patrick who talk about the aisle. Of course Winston prepared a tea, he always does. A spy is behind the door. The camera starts turning around the table. Father Patrick, I will visit this aisle. Then something and the camera continues to turn around. 2 inserts of Lara. The boat arrives in a creek. Father Patrick waves his hand goodbye and gets on by the right side. The camera gets down and we discover Lara in the water climbing on the aisle. Something about secret passage, and Lara watches his progress. So basically all of this is in the FMV, as you'll see in the next video, plus some additional scenes. For example, the storyboards do not capture the dock from which Winston was actually waving goodbye to Father Patrick and so on. So there are some additional details in the FMV itself. Okay, and on to the next. This will be the Ireland epilogues. Now, I don't remember this, and I have not seen the FMV recently, so I'm curious myself. Lara and Father Patrick come back. Fireplace in the Croft estate. The camera will pan on the character who talks. No text whatsoever. Then exterior, Egypt, Von Croy. So we're gonna get a brief look at Von Croy in Egypt before the final FMV. Oh, that's really neat. Oh, I assume if they kept this in the FMVs in the actual game. Pursuing his inner demons, the camera pulls back and follows Von Croy. He's next to the Pyramid of Giza. Something, the shadows walk in darkness. Winston, Father Patrick, and someone holding a candelabra. They move towards the trophy room of Croft Estate. And that's when Winston's gonna show them the iris, isn't it? Oh, they skipped that entire part. Okay, and we are now in New York. Interior van, Zip, shot from behind to Lara. You're in position in front of Von Croy building. The camera pans to Zip's side. A young lady is dressed, her hair behind an undyed mirror. We discover Von Croy building. Something, the building. Just in front, Lara is ready for the attack. Okay, so a little teaser for the final New York chapter of the game. My goodness, I'm so terrified of those levels. I think the first 2 I'll manage. They're roughly the high security compound kind of difficulty. But the red alert is going to be a real test of my tomb raiding skills. Can't wait. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this preview. Well, not preview, the showcase of the unlockable extras. As I said, I'm going to make a separate video showing all of these and do a little bit of restoration work to show the blurred out words, in case I'll manage to find out what those are. I have a strong suspicion my PS1 version of the game will show it to me fully without the censorship. So that's going to be fun. Be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time in the Gallows Tree.